What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time joining me today, my name is Noah Cavanaugh and I'm a pro footballer from Seattle, Washington. In today's video, I have a super special guest with me, Samuel Camacho, who is a OPSM pro player as well. He's over in Finland. He is Finnish and Cuban, so he is over in Finland playing in the second division. He's an absolute baller, center back, left back, and I'm really excited to have him on the channel. Now, before we get into the video, make sure and go hit the follow button on his training page. It's at SA Health Performance. I will put it in the description box below, and then you'll see it on screen as well. So make sure you go and follow that. That's his personal training page where he shows you all the different kinds of workouts and core strengthening stuff and gym workouts and stuff that he does as a pro as well. So that is super helpful. Great content for you guys. So without further ado, guys, let's hop into the video. All right, guys, thanks so much again for joining me. I have a very special guest, a fellow OPSM pro athlete, Samuel Camacho, who is here. He's in Finland currently, so definitely a few hours away. I think you guys are 10 hours ahead of us in the West Coast of the United States. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thank you, man. It's a pleasure to be on your channel, and also it's a pleasure to do this interview with you. Yeah, it's 10 hours difference. It's 10 o'clock here. What time is there right now, man?
Just noon.
Like just noon. Wow.
Yeah. And it looks like it's bright outside too. That's wild, eh?
It's bright. Yeah. Tomorrow actually it's the longest day here in Finland.
And how many hours of the daylight will you guys have?
I think it's gonna be like 24 hours, man. I think it's gonna be like it goes like the whole day. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is like that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So maybe for those watching and or listening, give a sort of a brief overview, maybe just a short bio about who you are, and then we'll get into like more history of playing and stuff.
All right. So, like you said, my name is Samuel Camacho. I'm 25 years old. I play in Finland, professional football in TPS. I'm a center back, left-footed. I can play left back also. And yeah, that's like shortly.
Definitely. Yeah, no, absolutely. So where are you located? What city in Finland are you located?
Turku.
Okay. I'm sure that's going to be very hard for me to pronounce, so I'll leave the pronunciation to you.
It's like one. I think like for me, Helsinki, of course, it's nice, but for me, Turku is like the best city here in Finland to be, and also like the football tradition here is good, very good.
That's awesome. Talk to me up. Let's do like a sort of a history prior to 2016, where you were at FC Lahti.
Yeah.
And so just prior to that, what your youth looked like, where you were born, how, like, what was football like when you were really young for you, all that stuff.
All right. So my mom is Cuban, dad Finnish. I was born here in Finland, and we moved like before I turned one year old. We moved to Brazil, to Sao Paulo, and we lived there 14 years. So I started my football there. There, everything was about football. Like all the free time was football. But there, I think it was more just like it was just fun. We were enjoying ourselves, just playing football. Of course, I always had in my mind, oh, I want to be a professional. Like I was thinking, watching Ronaldinho and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And thinking, yeah, that's my ambition, that's my goal. But it was actually more like just having fun with the friends. Then when we moved to Finland, we moved to Lahti straight away, and I started my football in a club called FC 69. So FC 69, and I played there. I played there from 14 to 16.
Okay.
And then in Lahti they combined the two teams, the two biggest teams in Lahti, which were Kuususi and Reipas. And then it was like FC Lahti, like an academy.
Mm-hmm.
Like then they created this way that FC Lahti, the team that has a team in Premier League, has like steps that you can follow, to go
Mm-hmm.
to the pro club. So yeah, I started there, and just before I was turning 18, I was at that point training with the first team in Lahti that plays the Premier League here, but I didn't got the chance there. Like I was just training and playing academy games, which were third division here in Finland.
Okay.
And at that point, I felt like I need a challenge in my career.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I was living with my parents. I was feeling like I need to step out of my comfort zone. I felt that quite early in my life that I need to step out of it to really
Mm-hmm.
grow as a player and also as a human, like as an individual in every aspect.
For sure.
So I went like Lahti is in south. I went to really north. I went to Kemi, and I got my first professional contract there
Mm-hmm.
with PS Kemi. I stayed there 1 season. I had bad luck there, injuries. So I ended up like playing just cup games and friendlies in that
Yep.
year. And after that year, I have been playing now since the Chem year. I have been playing second division in Finland. So I've been
Okay.
playing. I played Kotka, KTP, Kajani, last season VPS,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm in TPS. So now at this point, I feel like I'm in the right place, in the right club,
Mm-hmm.
in a club with ambitions to promote, and also after that also like once we have promote, bigger ambitions. Like they are not just happy if next year we are mid-table team in Premier League. Like we want to be high, where I
Yeah.
think this club deserves to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So growing up in Sao Paulo, you kind of mentioned the way that football was very kind of for fun. Was there a
Yeah.
time like, were you training on your own, or was it just like, oh, I'm playing with friends in the street or at school or whatever? Like, what was that environment like, and how did it? Because obviously you also mentioned that you kind of had it in your head like, hey, I want to be a professional at some point in life.
Yeah.
How do those two things mix for you?
That's a good question, and I think when I was 14, I didn't saw it like, oh, I'm gonna go to train,
Mm,
I just thought, like, for me it was like, yeah, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go play small-sided games, we play futsal, we play normal football in school in every break. So looking it now, it was very good, and actually I was training a lot.
yeah.
So I'm very, very grateful of that. And also I never felt like, oh, training. I
Sure.
just was, it was just fun.
Definitely. No, that's
Yeah.
a good point. I think there's an interesting question that I get a lot, and maybe you can shed light on this. And have you played center back / left back kind of your whole career?
No.
Oh, okay.
I played left wing, midfield, left back, and now I'm center back. And now
Fantastic.
I call myself, like, I'm a defender. I see my qualities as a defender, but I think I've got something, of course, to my game from the
Yeah,
midfield, and also from playing as an attacking, like, winger.
absolutely. Yeah, because I think a lot of the questions that I get from a lot of the younger people who watch my channel is, at what age do you start training specific for a position? And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
a question that and maybe it's a coach when you're in the U14 or U13 says, I see you at a left wing. So, Samuel, you're going to go play left wing or whatever. And then you start training that way. But was there a time when you started doing position specific stuff as a kid?
Yeah. Like as a kid, no. As a kid, it was more about the basics, really. My
Sure.
touches, my shooting, my long balls. It was a mix of everything, I think, in that
Yeah.
point. Because I think for me, I found myself really as a player when I was 22. Honestly, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I really, I was like, wait a minute, I'm this player. Because in many clubs before, I had played different positions, and always I had to think a bit differently, Okay, now I'm more attacking, more defending, I'm gonna be more in the ball, I need to create more, It was a
Yep.
mix of everything. And for me, I think the way I trained when I was young, it was a bit of everything.
Totally.
A bit of
Yeah.
everything.
Definitely. Talk a little bit about that, finding yourself. And maybe we're jumping forward a few years, but this is something that I think is so important with young players who see, guys like Mbappe at 18 years old, Messi at 16, Ronaldo at 17, getting into the top tier. And they think that they have to have it made by 16, otherwise their career's over. And for guys, I mean, I'm very similar to you. Like, I think I found where I was after I graduated university, and that was 22 years old. And I was like, I got signed pro right after that. And it was like, no, this is the player that I am. So talk about maybe like, did you feel mental pressure to sort of make it as, or I guess, how should I ask? To develop as your own identity earlier, or were you kind of okay with just finding it as it came along?
That's a good question. For me, when I was playing midfield, I was 20, 21, 19. I at that point, I was thinking like, I'm a midfielder, 100%. Like a defensive mid. I like to be on the ball. I like to be aggressive. I can create. So for me, it was at that point, 100% I'm a 6. And then when I turned 22, when I went to Kotka, KTP, and the coach, they signed me as a midfielder, but straight away in the first training, he said, you're going to be a left back here. And it was a shock for me. Like, I was like, what do you mean? Like, you just signed me as a 6.
Yeah.
But then when I started to train and play, I saw like, okay, here I can really take advantage of the left foot and of the speed. And I think I never felt a pressure about what position I play. But yes, who I am as a player. Because for me, when you know who you are as a player, in the end of the day, it doesn't matter where the coach is going to put you to play.
Yeah.
Because in the end of the day, you know your strengths, and you're going to use your strengths even if you're a left back, midfielder, or center back.
Yep.
So when I speak about really finding myself, I think this is the thing I mean. Not the position, but who I am as a player.
Absolutely. Did you find that was, you made a comment about sort of growing up at 18, 19 years old, you feel like you're becoming a man a little bit, you feel like you're becoming more of an adult. And how has your ability to be independent from your parents and live outside the home helped you in your journey?
It has helped. It has helped a lot, actually, in nutrition, like big part, like a big part in nutrition. Because before, we are Ladins, you know how it is. My mom cooks everything. I eat whatever she makes. I eat, and when I really started to because I'm really interested in nutrition also. So when I moved on my own, I started to get more knowledge also about that stuff, and I started to feel better, more athletic. Like in many ways, I think it was very good for me when I moved away. And also, like, yeah, you just become more independent about everything. You know, for me it was a big part, like to move out and take care of my career, like alone, basically.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I imagine especially as a young kid, you know, you have to when you're living with parents, you've got to, you know, they provide food, they provide housing,
Mm-hmm.
they pay the rent or whatever. They're, you know, your parents are kind of taking care of everything. And
Exactly.
so you really have to think and be more conscious about what you put in your body and the recovery
Exactly.
that you're doing. And I know a lot of players who have, I've heard stories of people who move out of the house to go play professionally and then they're up playing video games all night because their parents never
Yeah.
allowed them to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, to have the self-discipline to really hone that in is, I think, really amazing, and it speaks to your character as well.
Yeah. That's true. That's true, and that's like a fact what you said, that many players, they lose themselves when they go alone.
For sure.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's like
definitely.
football. That's normal.
Very.
Nowadays, you
Yeah,
see that a lot.
definitely. Did you ever get homesick when you moved out of house?
I like I had not homesick, but I had my weeks maybe that I was
Mm.
missing home, and also my girlfriend. Like we've been now is the first year. Like we have been 5 years, and this is the first year we like are together, living together. So
Wow.
like the beginning, like the first 4 years, I played somewhere and she was living in other place. So,
Hmm.
but I think in a way it was very good for me because then like I just concentrated on my football, and then of course when we saw it was nice, and that brings also like a good like calmness to your mind also, I think.
Absolutely. How do you, so you said focusing on football was a big thing for you. How else do you cope with that? Missing family, missing your girlfriend, friends from back home. Like how do you deal with that mentally?
I didn't have a problem with it because for me
Fair.
it was so clear that I'm gonna do this move,
Hmm.
and for me it was just like I knew it since the beginning. I'm here to play, I'm here to develop, and that was my goal. Like actually it has been my goal, and it will be my goal until I end my career.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Being very consistent with it, it sounds like too.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. How do you find the level difference between some of the academy teams that you played for and the pro game? Like what differentiates maybe a few, you can talk about a few things that you had to develop and in
Yeah.
that context of like what things do you have to do to level up in your football?
For me, like we can call it like semi-professional and professional maybe.
Hmm.
For me, I think the biggest difference is on tactical side, at least here in Finland.
Hmm.
Like I felt semi-professional football a bit more difficult.
Okay.
Like less, I don't know why, less time on the ball because everyone is just running. You know, sometimes it can be like very crazy.
Yeah.
Your team players sometimes they're not on their position and stuff like that. But also, I think that aspect brings then to the professional level. When you go to the professional level, you need to also have that in mind that okay, this can happen in every game, you know. So then just like awareness, tactical stuff, where do I stand, how do I position myself, I think that's the biggest difference.
Mm-hmm.
That in semi-professional level here, it is just more like moving around. I felt like somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good point. And I think that speaks to there's a lot of mindless running that gets done in a lot of the
Yeah,
semi-professional, where a lot of the professional, I think a lot of the professional leagues, at least that I've played in, and it sounds like you played in as well, like are very conscious about when to use energy and when not to use energy.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Did you find that so across the couple teams you've played for since 2017 at Chemi, like did you uh were all those levels pretty much the same? You mentioned they were all second division teams, so
Yeah.
were they pretty equitable as far as training goes and players go, or?
For me, like last season VPS and now TPS, like if we speak about second division clubs here, the level is slightly better
Uh-huh.
in training, in like in a professional way. I think like it's more demanding. Uh, of course, with the ambition comes those sides. And before the teams I played in second division, like the goal was just to not get relegated. So there's like a difference, in my opinion, like in the daily
Absolutely.
basis on how the players perform, like every day.
Yep. Definitely. What is a like a regular training day in the life look like for you?
For me, it's like now we obviously are like on season, so we have morning trainings with the team. Usually I wake up 1.5 hours before we meet. I do my own activations at home, eat my breakfast, go to the facility, and there I continue a bit, of course, the activations. We train, shower, lunch, home, I rest a bit. If it's like, if we are far off the game, I think if I feel good, I will go either with the ball or to the gym or just do some mobility, or some days just rest. Like I listen to my body a lot on those things, but I always try to put that extra work as much as I can every week. Of course, there are weeks where you play 2 games or even 3 games, so then you have to really listen to your body and know, now okay, now I have to recover to just the next game. But when there's times that we play, let's say Saturday and Saturday, there's a lot of days between you can develop in whatever you feel. So that's basically my day, every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you had any issues with listening to your body before? Like you've gotten
Yeah,
injured because you went overboard?
not injuries, but I just felt like my game was not where it like that for me was the big thing when I was younger. I trained a lot. Like I didn't know, like for me, if I didn't train, I was like, okay, now I'm not gonna be there.
Right.
Like when I was younger, I was a bit crazy on that stuff. I had to train, I had to train, I had to train, I had to train. And then when you go a long period doing that, like all the off season, pre-season, training, when the season started, I was like without energy.
Right.
And that was the point when I noticed, and was a wake-up call that okay, now this is not smart. And then of course, little by little, I was changing some stuff, and now I feel like I'm in a place where I know like about my body and about how to make those extras, and when not to, and what to eat and what not to eat, and when to sleep more or take a nap or stuff like that.
Absolutely. What kind of stuff do you do for recovery?
For recovery, Normally after a game I will go. We have always off after the
Hmm.
game, so I will do some biking, some foam rolling, some maybe cold and hot, like the mix.
Hmm.
Eat carbs, protein,
Yeah.
veggies, rest, like easier day.
Yeah, definitely. What do you like to do in your free time when you're not training?
Well, now my girlfriend is here, so we spend a lot of time, obviously. But
Yeah.
I like to, I like to just chill, just watch some Netflix. I like to cook. I like to listen to music. Like now the weather is perfect here. Also, I like to go on walks and
Mm.
basic stuff. Take it easy when the time it is. When the time is to take it easy, I enjoy it also.
Yeah, that's good. That's good because I struggle. That's something that I struggle with a lot is like I always have to be busy because otherwise I go stir crazy. Like I feel like I again like you were saying like I feel like I have to work out and I feel like
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
to
yeah,
go do more and more and more. But when I know that I have to rest, like my brain man just moves way
yeah.
quick. Like a lot of time I wish I was like you, just chill sometimes. Eh?
Okay, but maybe I'm giving. Maybe okay. I take it easy, but I have a bit of that
Sure.
craziness, and I think it will never go away because if I look at my mom, also she's the same. My dad, she is the same.
Yeah,
But in football, you need to control that. Like
for sure.
that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Do you outside of do you prefer a particular position? I know obviously you play center back and left back now, but is there a position that if you could have your team, where would you play?
Uh, Three on the back, and I'm on the left of the center
Oh,
backs.
oh, left of the center backs. Okay. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, wing back. All right.
No. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah, the left center back of the three.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
for me perfect.
And what qualities do you have to be successful in that position?
You have to be able to speak, organize your team,
Hmm.
big thing, uh, calm on the ball, strong, like
Yeah.
in the air, on the ground. And I feel like all the time, more and more, you need to be like athletic. And by athletic, I mean you need to have that speed, you need to have that endurance, you need to have that power.
Mm.
Football is for me all the time. I feel like every year the players are like more and more athletic all the time.
Yep.
Obviously, I don't know how it is in Premier League or Bundesliga and stuff like that, but you can see also there is the same.
Yeah.
Every year the players they are faster, stronger, and the game is just I think it's going little by little a lot to that also.
Yeah. No, definitely. I guess it's good for the Americans who aren't as technically gifted, but more athletic. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I no,
So
but if you look at Americans right now, also there are coming some ballers all the time also.
that's true. That's true. Some of the young guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have aspirations to play for a national team?
Actually, like I played one cap with the Cuban national team, and
Oh, cool.
now I have some passport issues, but I was supposed to be
Gotcha.
now on the Gold Cup. That's gonna be in 1 week. The games are gonna start, but I had unfortunately problems with my passport, and also I have been now 5 weeks out because of an ankle injury. Tomorrow is my first training back.
Oh,
Uh,
congrats.
so yeah, thank you.
Got
So
to be exciting.
it has been mentally a bit tough this past 5 weeks, but
Yeah. Tell me about that. Like what's been sort of the mindset and how do you deal with that?
well, that this is like my first injury actually in
Welcome to the
my
club, man.
yeah my first injury. So I was shocked, bro, in the beginning
Really?
when I heard this on my ankle. I was like, no, this cannot be happening to me,
Yeah.
you know. all like straight away, I think all the work I put and like everything came to my mind. I was like, please God, no.
Yep.
But then thank God it was just the bone, and I had to just wait on the bone to get back on the place. But it's a new club, and like it's my first year here, and I was in a quite good position. So of course it's hard mentally. But for me, I just took it as okay, now I'm gonna focus on the things I can control. I can work on my mindset, on my mind. Maybe if I was feeling something that I had to improve, like on my mind, now I felt like, okay, now this is the time to work, to deal with something, if I have something.
Yep.
So I used time on that, and also like everything I was able to do, conditioning, strength. I was doing everything I can. In the beginning 2 weeks was just like sitting and doing some battle ropes and a lot of core, upper body. After that, when I was able to walk a bit, I started little by little doing more and more. But now, condition wise and like physically, I feel like I haven't been a day away, you know.
That's good.
Now just the thing is to see how the touch is, but for me that comes quick back always.
Yeah, definitely. Do you feel like that has I guess first question is, what is the difference between playing in, like, what is the ethos, if that makes sense, like the ethos of football, and the player and playing style in Brazil versus Finland? And where do you sit? Somewhere in the middle? Are you more on the Brazilian end, the more Finnish end?
Good question, because I have been speaking about that a lot, like with my dad. He always says that I have changed a lot as a player since we came, because when we came, I was a winger. I never passed the ball. I just went alone. You know, if I lose the ball, I scream to the others. I was shooting from everywhere.
Yeah.
Just thinking about myself. And then if I think about me now, like I'm really a team player and I do a lot of like dirty work in the field. And so, yeah, I think like in the moment I'm somewhere in between. I have I think the temper, I can say, of the Brazilian times, but maybe my game is more, if I can say, European right now.
Okay.
If I can say it like that, but maybe somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, definitely. That's really interesting. Do you feel, what's the Cuban style of play? Or like what's the ethos of the Cuban player?
I would say it's quite similar as American.
Okay.
So they're strong, they're fast. That's, I think, their strength. That's their strength.
Yeah.
Fast, strong players that quite good with the ball.
Yeah, very athletic. Is the first division over there any good?
Well, I don't know if you know how much you know about Cuba, but like there are so very good players actually there. But the problem is, and why people don't hear about Cuban players so much, is because it's hard to, like, they cannot leave the country, you know. If someone says, okay, I want this player, they're not going anywhere.
Because of
that's
the club,
why so
the
many
politics?
times, yeah, it's about politics. And that's also why many times you see they go play away, the players stay, you know, they stay in the country, they don't come back. And then there's many players, even in USA, play in MLS, USL, Cuban players that are very good, but they cannot represent the country because of, for me, stupid things.
Sure.
But yeah, the question to your answer is like about the Cuban league, I don't think it's not like very competitive.
Yeah. Okay. So then you speak English, Finnish, Portuguese, and Spanish?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No,
Okay.
that's it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Maybe we'll have to do an interview in Spanish.
Okay. You speak
Yeah,
Spanish?
a little bit. Yeah, I played in Spain and studied Spanish like all throughout high school and college.
Okay, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
How was
So
that experience?
it was good. Yeah, Spain is beautiful. We were up in the North Coast, and I was playing for a team called Real Union, which is a third division, Tercera club, or no, Segunda B, so third division. Yeah, Segunda B
Okay.
club. And it was good. Like quality was very good.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah, the
have friends
Spanish players
playing.
are
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
So
They say
it's a
that
different
Segunda B
caliber.
level is good. Even
Yeah,
in Tercera, there is very, very good players.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I trialed with a couple different places, but I reckon the Tercera clubs are a lot more physical, and then you
Mm-hmm.
get up to the Segunda B, and it's very technical. Like all the play, like the Segunda B is probably better than the MLS in the US,
Yeah,
and that's third division, and
yeah.
it's
Imagine.
like, and those players are like top.
Yeah. So
So
even there, like you said, that Tercera is maybe more physical. So there, even there, I feel like, and what I have been speaking with these guys I know playing there, they also say that Tercera and Segunda B is like you jump from semi-professional to professional.
definitely,
Yeah. So
definitely,
you can see
yeah,
the difference there, but then if you go higher, the difference is not that big
right,
in the way of in the like game wise, in the way they
sure,
play, because always
definitely,
there's very good players in every division.
right. Yeah, no, that's true. And then it becomes a tactical thing, like you were saying. It's a lot of tactics as you move up into the,
Yeah.
up, because we got a chance to. I watched who did I see play over there? Athletic Bilbao, and we saw
Mm-hmm.
them live. And watching players like Iñaki Williams and Munain, like the way that they create space for themselves, and the way that they, I mean, Iñaki Williams, his movement off the ball is flawless. Like
Yeah.
he finds himself in the little pockets of space, and same with Munain, because he's like
Yeah.
a true number 10, just
Yeah.
incredible to watch. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, experience. I mean, Spain would recommend, if you ever get a chance to
Yeah.
play over there, definitely go.
100%. I will go.
Yeah,
I'll,
absolutely. But again, like politics are a huge thing, and I experienced a lot of politics over there as well. And I'm sure, are there any team? Well, I guess not. You don't have to name teams or anything, but over the course of your career, has there been moments where you've had to deal with some interesting politics?
mm, yeah, a bit.
Okay.
There have been like I I think about this stuff is not is I don't want to name anything
No,
like you
don't.
said.
Please don't. Yeah.
Yeah, but there has been some little stuff.
Yeah, definitely. How do you manage? Obviously, you're an.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries. You can still hear me.
Yeah. Yeah.
No worries. So obviously you're an OPSM athlete now, so you're represented by them. Were there any times in your career where you had to deal with the politics stuff without any agents?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, at that point when it happened, uh, well, I had an agent, but the agent I had back then was maybe not the right person for me.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you, in those moments, how do you deal with that stuff?
Well, in those moments, I dealt with them like myself.
Fair.
So you can imagine when a player goes to deal those kind of stuff, the consequences are always like not good for the player.
For sure.
But I'm I'm still 100% behind my words back then, and I will always stand like on those things I did, like, and I said in those
Yeah,
moments.
absolutely, absolutely. Has it helped having OPSM behind you?
Yeah, it has helped in many ways. In many ways, like OPSM, because I have been working with just like with an agent.
Sure.
OPSM is an agency where there's many people with different kind of knowledge
Yeah.
uh, that can help you in different ways as a
Hmm.
player, not just moving from one club to another or taking that step like in a club with a club, but also there's people that want to help you as a player
Yeah.
with your mind, with everything. So I think it has been very good, and
Yeah.
I'm very happy to be part of OPSM.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's been my experience too, is like regardless of the stuff that's happened beforehand, it's cool to be a part of an organization that really takes care of you.
Yeah,
So
100%.
no, that without giving them a plug.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, to be fair, I just had Jeff on. His video will come out, or his video came out a couple days ago. So I had an
Really?
interview with him. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. I commented on that, but I commented, but I forgot to watch it. I need to
Oh,
watch it,
okay.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
definitely,
just saw
definitely.
Jeff. I was like, hell, damn. Then I just comment there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, he's a
he's a
great
cool
guy.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
he and Godwin
I
both.
played with him last season there in Vasa.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. How it now that he's not in the room to defend himself, but how's Jeff as a player?
He's good. He's
Is he?
good. He's good. He's a baller.
Yeah, definitely. And he's a 6 too, yeah?
Yeah, 6, aggressive, good on the ball.
Yeah,
Like for me, he's that player you need in every team,
for sure.
Yeah.
Watching his highlight video, I was like, man, the guy's like physically, he looks like he's an absolute train. Like he just
Yeah.
nobody can take the ball from him.
When he does this, you cannot
Yeah.
rather you can make a foul or then you just leave it. Okay,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's awesome. So once you're in from this season, the idea is to win the league, get promoted to Premier League, and then from there, how many bids does Finland get in Europa League or Champions League?
Uh, I think it's Champions League 1 and
Okay.
Europa League 2.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
of course that is something like for me, like what I want, like in a future, not even long future, but I hope in maybe 1-2 years I can play games like that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Um, a couple more questions before we hop into some like rapid fire things as we wrap things up. I want to some of the subscribers are really into different boots and stuff, so I'll ask you about that in a minute.
All right.
But what makes, in your opinion, playing professional, playing around a bunch of different types of players, different types of personalities, and obviously not position specific, but what makes a good teammate?
A good teammate, uh, someone that is fully committed to what he's doing,
Mm-hmm.
someone who will like, how can I say, someone who will if you make a mistake or if you make something good, he will, in both cases, he will like not only cheer you up, he will say also, okay, you need to improve at this, now you
Mm,
did this good. Like for me, a good teammate is someone who is honest
yeah.
honest on feedback. Yeah, for me that's it.
Yeah. No, those are
For me
great
that's it.
attributes.
That's a good teammate. He's fully committed. He will do everything for the team and for every game, and then also he's honest with himself and with the others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, one thing that is sometimes on the top of my mind when I
think about young players nowadays, and obviously we're not like old. I'm 25 also, so like we're not old, but we're not quite the 17, 18, 19-year-old generation anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of those guys nowadays, at least in the US, I don't know how it is in Finland and in Brazil or other places, but especially in the US, there's a lot of kids who don't take responsibility for their own mistakes. So for
Yeah.
instance, if they don't get playing time, it's the coach's fault. If they don't make a certain team, it was a really hot day and I got dehydrated, like that stuff. Maybe speak a little bit about that and your experiences and the importance, perhaps, if you think so, of taking responsibility for yourself.
That's a very good point. I feel like Brazil, Finland, US, everywhere, I think you will see that always.
Yeah.
People that will point always something else.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it's too hot. The coach is not good. My boots are not good. This game was an artificial. It should be natural. Stuff like that. So for me, the sooner you realize that, it's quite cliche, but your biggest like competition is yourself in many ways. So the sooner you realize that if you make a mistake, just look at the mirror and you try to figure it out how to not make it again. Everyone will make mistakes in football, especially in life also, all the time, but not to repeat the same mistakes too many times. I think that will take you as a player like forward. And the sooner you start to take responsibility of your actions in life and in football, you will grow, in my opinion.
Absolutely. That's awesome. That's life advice 101 right there.
Yeah.
Absolute gold. Thank you for that. No, I appreciate it. Okay, so a couple of rapid fire questions before we wrap the interview up. Who is your favorite player of all time?
Didier Drogba.
Class. I haven't had that one before. That's a good one.
That's easy. That's easy.
Yeah. Who's your favorite team?
Chelsea.
Okay. I could have seen that one coming.
Now you know why, huh?
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense though, because Drogba's like, I don't know, if you were to say Conte, like N'Golo Conte or something, and then say Chelsea, I'd be like, okay, you're not really a Chelsea fan, but if you're a Drogba fan, you're a Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
That's it.
I am a Chelsea fan.
That's awesome. What's your favorite number to wear?
3.
And what are your top 3 boots of all time?
Tiempo, Adidas X.
Okay.
And Superfly.
Damn, what generation?
I used them 4 years ago, so what generation was that?
So 2016, 17, God, I don't know, 5 maybe?
Maybe 5 or 4.
Yeah, what color were they?
Green.
Oh, okay. Were they the sock ones?
No sock.
No sock. Okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
I think you know.
Yeah. Those are nice.
Yeah.
Very classy boots. And if there was one piece of advice you could give to young footballers today, what would it be?
One piece of advice. Work hard and let me think, man. I don't want to say just work hard.
Fair
because
enough.
that's obvious. Work hard, but work smart also. And even bigger than that, focus on yourself. Don't look too much what other people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's control. Focus on the stuff you can control.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Well, it's been a pleasure, man. I really appreciate you being on, and definitely looking forward to having more conversations in the future. And
Likewise.
I'll have you on when you get to the Premier League.
All right, man.
Yeah,
I hope
appreciate it,
you
bro.
also get there, bro.
Hey, that's it. Next year.
That's the goal. That's the goal. All
Yeah.
right, man. Thank you.
All right, fam, that is it for the video. Thanks so much for joining me today. As you can see, guys, Samuel is an awesome guy, such a class human being, and super focused on his football journey, which I think is really admirable, especially when you have so much else going on in this crazy world of ours. So I am stoked to keep in touch with him. He and I will be probably collabing when he makes it up into the first division of the Finnish Premiership, which I'm stoked about. But at the end of the day, guys, it was amazing to talk to him. Definitely go follow him on his athletics page at SA Health Performance, and we will go from there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you got value from it and you want to see more pro footballer interviews. As always, guys, be awesome. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.